You always knew you were at Bethany when you walked in because the coffee pot was on. I married Julie Decker Roll. I grew up at Bethany. I was baptized, confirmed, and married at Bethany. Fourth generation members.
I'm Paul Roll. I've been a member here ever since 1972 when we moved here to Escanaba.
John Decker, I'm a lifer here for 91 years, and here I am.
And I'm Suzy Decker, Suzy Carl Decker, and I'm married to the lifer. We got married at Bethany. I have 2 children, and they were baptized at Bethany, confirmed at Bethany.
Suzy Roll, 5th generation, is it? 4th generation? Whatever.
4th.
Been here a long time. And while I didn't have my childhood here at Bethany, I did move here when I was 14 years old and was confirmed here. Family priority to make sure my kids were baptized here and confirmed here. And currently I'm church council president.
Julie Roll-Phillips was not baptized here because we were living on the West Coast, but been here since age 5. Confirmed here, married here, my children were baptized here.
How has God been generous to you?
Well, he's been very generous to me because I feel that he's protected me all of my life.
Especially on the ice.
Minor detail, but yes, he was there then. Because I walked around behind the ice shack and looked at that ice and said, what a hell of a way to die in that damn cold water. I looked up and I had the feeling that I wasn't going to die that night. And walked around the front and I felt very relaxed.
I think God has been generous. He's given me my family, a lifetime here at the church, the ability to come back when you have been away for a while, the ability to stay connected with my family, because that is very important. The ability to have family around and stay connected with them is generosity from God.
I agree. That's top of my list is family. You know, parents with patience, parents who loved me, and family who loved me, and extended family who loved me. That's huge. That was the biggest grace that one can get, period, end of story. And then the other blessing I've had from God that's, for me, undeniable, I have a mind that works. I can process things, I can do things with it. I thoroughly enjoy being able to think about things. That's a gift from God.
The gift is an extended family. We have a very loving extended family, cousins, and we get together a lot, and brother and sister.
Their cousins are they're raised together, so they're more like brothers and sisters than cousins. And that's a remarkable thing in today's age.
I'd like to approach it differently, and I'd like to tell of a recent, maybe in the last 8 years, 9 years, I really discovered what forgiveness is all about. It had to do with our two children who went through some terrible times with divorces. We went out to California to see our son, and his ex came to the apartment and dropped off the 2 children that they have. The ex-wife saw me and she came in and she said, "Hi, Mom," and hugged me. And we just stood there with tears in our eyes for a while. And with that, the oldest son, who was about 11 at the time, came up and group hugged us both. I felt this warmth, this release, and I felt another presence, and that was Jesus. And it just was a remarkable release of bitterness toward a lot of things. So I always call that now my forgiveness trip.
How did your family help you know more about God, and how does your church?
Ooh, how does your family help you know more about God? Dragging your butt out of bed every Sunday morning, preschool through high school.
Amen.
My mother would say, The Lord only requires 1 hour from you on Sunday morning to get going.
Mm-hmm. And happy to say we carried on the tradition.
The first introduction to God that I had is I was about 4 years old, and we had moved into this old house. And my brother and I each had a bed in the same room. And my mother, well, she was standing by the register and the light was behind her. And she started reading the Bible to us and taught us, and did this for a while and taught us the Lord's Prayer. Well, we didn't understand, but what I felt was a specialness to it. That particular instance carried through the rest of my life, the presence.
I know I've loved it with church, sometimes the Bible studies, so that the more of an analytical perhaps thing or interpretive deal of understanding the Bible and having open conversation about it. I love being Lutheran for that. Questioning things, studying things, different perspectives, different points of view, that really works for me, and I really enjoy that, and the church has provided that for me over the years.
Any favorite church memories anyone wants to share?
Christmas Eve every year.
Every year.
Yes.
Easter too.
Easter too.
Yep.
Too.
Singing
Those
the Lord's Prayer,
Or
directed by John
yeah.
Becker.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's huge.
Well, the good music, thanks to your parents,
Mm-hmm.
John Arnson from way back,
Yeah.
wherever.
Bethany and the music. Bethany
Yes,
and the
the
music.
music,
It brings you in. It's, I don't know, it's soul touching for me.
Do you remember coming to church at Christmas Eve at 11 o'clock at night? When the minister was giving the sermon, the bells of St. Pat's would ring, and we'd just smile. We drowned out the sermon.
Yeah.
Well, it's nice you think about like how like the church and with generosity, how it's people you went to confirmation with that I, still not in touch with, but like still in touch with. Like you see them and you're just like, you pick up right where you left off. You go over the old times because I'm there now.
We also had the chapel in Northtown, on North 18th Street. My mother would go to Ladies' Aid there.
What does it mean to be generous?
Being generous is, giving of your time, giving of yourself, giving of your money if you have it. Not everybody has the ability to donate money to a cause, but you can donate time, you can donate a passion for it, and by talking to others, you can help others.
It's more than just giving, it's giving knowing that it's in someone else's best interest. It's not about you anymore. Generosity is not about you as much as it is about someone else. And it's giving, sometimes it's giving more than you can afford, whether it's money or a time, or it's going out of your way to give.
And it's just love. If you have a lot of love for people, they feel that too.
It's not giving for a tax deduction, it's giving from your heart. That's generosity. Other than that, it's accounting.
The other thing I think is that I noticed with generosity is growing up, we had role models of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
Yes.
not of money, it was of time, it was of concern, God, it was of patience. And so that really helped. Julie and I always joke that we were constantly voluntold. So we had a family of volunteers who would give time and effort to all kinds of causes. Our children now love the luxury of being voluntold.
When you tell them you volunteered for something, they know that it's not out of meanness.
The other thing is when you do it with your parents, not instead of them.
Yes.
It's
There
not
you
just
go.
you who has to do it, but you're doing it with them, either as family. That goes a long way to cementing the goodness of volunteering or giving of your time.
The leading by example. I mean, we grew up with Mom as the youth leader, teaching Sunday school. We taught Sunday school. Maya taught Sunday school.
Yeah.
Aunt Suzy with painting with the kids. That's part of generosity also, is showing others your passion.
We could sit here and probably go through midnight, but you have to stop sometime.
Yeah.
What about on it?
Thank you, ma'am.
Coffee's empty.